I had to hop off to eat dinner. I've had a long day.
Yeah, hold on here.
Let's punish them, guys. We gotta get people down and kick them, man. Get the motor going. Let's get the motor going. Draw. It's clean, nasty.
To the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Stutter step over the 5, and he's in.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys, we are back with another episode of the 49ers Round Check. And today is, what day is it today?
Victory Monday.
Yes, sir. Victory Monday. Feels sweet. That's what I'm talking about, man. So let's get on that topic, man. We got to add more into it, man. But my boy, Niner Gang Podcast is in the building. We got David McNew. And I know a couple of the crews haven't been around, but hey, there's going to be a couple coming shortly. And as far as the rest of the guys, I bumped into Antonio, and he said he should be back in a few weeks. He's been kind of busy with his work. Yeah, I just bumped into him. But yeah, and I saw Debbie also and a few other people. And Gina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's discuss the game. You know, let's get on the recap of the victory, man. I want to hear what you got to say, Dion, on this one.
For me, hey, it's a victory. We won. Great job by the defense, continuing to shut out offenses over the last 6 quarters. They've had that 4-game streak of shutting offenses out in the second half altogether. We dominated the Saints, so that's what gave us the 6 quarters and whatnot. For me, my thing is that was another mediocre game from Jimmy Garoppolo. And hopefully this calms people down, and hopefully Steve Young is starting to rethink his whole 10-year strategy with Mr. Garoppolo at the helm there. Because what killed me is I started as I saw how people were taking to this, I watched content creators jump on the train that weren't on that train, that were definitely on the Trey Lance train, that sat there and stated, hey, Jimmy's here for a period of time and that's it. But now all I hear is, well, if he wins a Super Bowl, I'm not opposed to them keeping him and sitting the kid. No. Let me explain this. People seem to forget how this panned out for us. Now, I'll give it to you in probably a real simple, probably not even a full minute. We call Jimmy Garoppolo and say, hey, we're drafting a quarterback. Jimmy says, fuck you. We say, well, your ass can't stay healthy, so what the fuck do you expect us to do? And he goes, man, I'm pissed off. But all right, draft a little shit. I don't give a damn. Quarterback comes in. What happens all offseason? How do you feel about Trey? How do you feel about Jimmy? How do you feel about Trey? How do you feel about Jimmy? So then both of them become annoyed with these questions because it's like, bro, I don't want to keep talking about the other person that's here. I'm here to take his job because he obviously doesn't know how to keep it and he can't stay healthy. So that's why I'm here. And the other guy in the other sense is saying, well, I am what's going on, Tommy? What's going on, Sajid? He's basically saying, well, I'm here and I'm the starter, so I don't care. Then, the whole season goes by. We get to the NFC Championship. He looks like a dummy. We say our goodbyes. Everybody says their goodbyes. Here's the thing. He screws us in the offseason. He says, my shoulder hurts. Time to get surgery. And drive my trade value basically in the toilet. So all offseason, he gets no love, no playbook, no nothing. 4-string guy. What happens? He gets healthy, ready to throw. Nobody calls. Nobody says anything. Nobody wants him. Next thing you know, he's still here. And what happens? Kyle decides to run Trey Lance into the damn ground. Because it's really odd to me with the stats that we know about. If we run 40-plus times, we win the game. If Jimmy has to throw for an extended period of time, we kind of screw ourselves. You notice Jimmy been throwing a lot. You notice he's been in the shotgun a ton. Really? So you couldn't do that with Trey Lance? You mean to tell me you don't think that this guy had enough in him to be able to do that? I do. But Jimmy's here. We need him to be able to finish out the season and hopefully, if anything, at least get us to the playoffs because we all know he disappears in the playoffs. But from him screwing us in the offseason to him just being here and having these mediocre-ass games, just not screwing it up and everybody jumping on the bandwagon, what are we doing? What are we thinking? Is it the man ain't gone over 240 yards in these past 4 games. He's thrown 7 TDs, and he didn't even throw a touchdown in one of those games. He had 4 versus the Cardinals of all people. Come on, man. What are we doing? Don't do that to yourself. Because I hear content creators out there that will try to make you look bad for going against the grain, going against the team. If you don't like something the team did, well, you shouldn't be covering this team because you don't know what you're talking about. See, they were right all along. No one's above reproach. But me, I just saw another weak-ass game from Jimmy Garoppolo. He had two oh shit throws. He had one pick he lucked out. That one got called back on the penalty. And the other one he lucked out because Tyrann Mathieu just doesn't have longer arms to be able to stretch and pull that ball down. Juwan Jennings lays down, it falls right in his lap. Literally, right in his lap.
It's like he caught the lottery or something. You know, when he saw that play by Jennings, that was like a lottery play.
With that being said, I mean, the offense looked very stagnant. 13 points. With all the offense we got, we should be at 30. And I'm sorry, I have to disagree. The O-line did not play like ass. There were times where they gave us some pressure, but for the most part, Jimmy had all day in that fucking pocket. And you know how Jimmy had all day? Because he started tap dancing. When Jimmy has too long in the pocket, he gets frustrated. He doesn't know what to do. Instead of it being about going through reads or pointing guys, hey, look, go that way. I'm going to throw it over here. He gets real scared. He starts tap dancing in the pocket or he'll start patting that damn ball. So for the defense, nothing but love and respect. Great. Offense, we're stagnant again. CMC possibly has an injury that may keep him out. The only positive from that is Jordan Mason got some carries, and he looked great when he did have the small amount of carries. But then you got Elijah Mitchell out for another 6 to 8 weeks with the same injury. This guy's knees are made of glass, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. That's just what I saw, man.
Okay, so my recap of this game before we go to David. I think as far as the way how Tommy said it best, dude, the offensive line was a joke, man. Like there was 2 costly penalties by that same exact guy that I was going to get off his case for, Jake Brendel, man. Come on, man. What kind of boneheaded penalty did you do, bro? We were moving down the field for a touchdown almost. And then there was this one questionable penalty, but as far as a collective team, as a team in general, 13 points. It had to be a tough one because everybody was talking about how the Saints defense is so good, but then some others were saying on a short week coming from Mexico, that could be a tough task because you have very little practice, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe we're just shaking off the jitters off of this stuff. But like you said, Jimmy needs to play better, and it's very unacceptable of what he's doing because that interception was negated, but if it wasn't a penalty, Jimmy would have screwed it up. But the one guy who stood out to me from all the games, I mean, Jennings on 3rd down conversion was a difference maker. Like, I feel like that's what it was. But offensive line, Mike McGlinchey, I don't know why he's still starting. You're getting pushed. You're getting pushed over. Man, it's like anytime I watch Mike McGlinchey freaking blocking, bro, I'm just like having thoughts like, man, I can't understand this guy. Like, he can't block. But what do you think, Tommy? Not Tommy. I mean, David. My bad.
So, I mean, look, when it comes down to it, we have all these weapons on offense. And our quarterback can't even put up a 300-yard game. I mean, seriously. You know, we have Debo, we have Ayuk, we have Jennings, we have Kittle, we have CMC. You know, we got Juice, who occasionally gets in there. You know, he's not big on it, but he occasionally gets in there. And we can't get a 300-yard game from our QB. There's obviously something very wrong here. And it's 100% the quarterback. And I don't know if he just doesn't. I mean, I've seen him throw deep, and I can't say it's pretty. I really can't. I've seen, I mean, when it comes to Jimmy, you give him too much time, he does exactly what Dion said. He starts dancing and he starts getting nervous. Then they got a couple hits on him, and they got in his head. Hey, I'm being modest. And then they got in his head. And once you're in his head in that fashion, he becomes jittery G for the rest of the game. And when it comes to that touchdown pass to Jennings, yeah, we're lucky Matthew couldn't catch. I mean, if he had good hands, that would have been an INT. And it would have been what? 6-0?
Could have been worse. It could have been like that. Dude, that's the problem. If you look at our defense, we didn't give up a single touchdown, but imagine if we had a 6-0 lead in the fourth quarter.
Oh.
But man. Jennings made that, like, you know, when you enter that lottery, Jennings actually won the lottery with Matthew Tyrann Matthews is like you said, if he had longer length, he probably would have made the play.
I mean, and when it comes to Mitchell, 6 to 8 more weeks, you know, he'll rejoin us, you know, when the playoffs start. And that's, you know, barring we make the playoffs and something bad doesn't happen here. I don't, you know, it's time to get Jordan Mason and TDP in the game and let them start running up the middle and bruising. It's time to stop running CMC up the middle. He's not cut out for that. He's more of a get to the edge guy, you know, change of pace, third down back, pass catcher. And he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. I mean, we need to start using him in ways that is not running him up the middle.
Yeah, he fits our stretch zone scheme. That's the whole point of CMC. He goes to the outside. If you want to run up the gut, did everybody miss what Jordan Mason did? It looked pretty good to me. He likes the contact. Put the kid in. Let him get some time on the field. But continue your point. I just needed to say that. It drove me insane. It drives me insane that you have a back that likes to do that, that's good at it, and you refuse to put him on the field. Like, he wasn't injured for you to understand the talent this kid has. All that lauding that you did for him off season, all of the hype from Anthony Lynn, from Kyle Shannon, from anybody, took all the way until what? We are in our 11th game.
Yeah. But I think there's going to be a lot of good ways to use him now because we're going to have him go against some physical defense like Miami. I think that's going to be a good matchup. But hey, Fortnite Fogey, man, give me your thoughts on the recap of the way, man.
Well, to start with, Jimmy got smacked really hard 6 times, and at least half of those should have been a penalty. I mean, he got beat up. He got sacked once and hit 6 times. So, yeah, he got a little jittery, but he didn't get as jittery as, let's say, Stafford gets when he gets that way. Stafford's a lot worse when he gets hit. Who do you want to put in at quarterback? Do you want to put in Baby Bosa? So, you know, we got what we got. I saw a defense that loves to screw with the fans. They keep you on the edge of your seat. You start watching the game and, oh, no, they're going down the field, we got the ball. And they did that time and time and time again, man. They just won't let us get comfortable. And yeah, we didn't. We scored 3 out of the 4 quarters, which is okay. Just we need 7 instead of 3. 7 points each quarter with our defense would be fine.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, if we gave our defense 28 points, you're right, Fogies. We would definitely be doing them definitely a great favor.
There was good opportunities we had in the red zone at times, but they had to settle for field goals. But I like the aggressive approach that we did start it off.
Yes.
We got to get aggressive. Even if we don't convert it, it makes it hard for them to move it down the field because they have to go 90-plus yards. Think about it. Yeah, field goals is more smart and conservative, but if you want to win games and you want to have a good chance to beat good teams, you have to go for those touchdowns. Even if it's 4th and goal, you got to go for it.
Well, the Aints did have a good defense.
Yeah, Cameron Jordan, and then they got Davenport and quite a few other pieces out there. So it's no shame to it. And plus, we were coming off a short week, and I don't know if it had to do with the Mexico effect that they travel from different sides, but they had very short practice. So to be fair, it was a trap week game also, and we didn't fall for that trap game.
Yeah.
I think next week we'll be a little bit better, but honestly, next week I intend for us to try to run that ball like nobody's business because we're dealing with a ton of weapons when it comes to Miami. And I know that Kyle's typically fairly good at beating his proteges. I mean, he beats Sean McVay like a stuffed pinata, but that's because he's in division and he bitch slaps him on a yearly basis. But the thing for me is in this game, it's just that I guess it's bittersweet. I want us to – people out there, don't get me wrong. I want us to win. I do. I want us to win. I want us to succeed. I'd love to see another Super Bowl win, for this time that I've been alive. But because I only got to really witness 4. The first one we got, I was a baby, so I didn't even know that happened. But what I'm saying is I want us to win, but I don't want people to give credit where it isn't due. You don't need to jump on the Jimmy Garoppolo train as if this guy is Aaron Rodgers in his prime or Tom Brady in his prime or something to that effect. He's managing the game well. He's not fucking it up, and that's all we can ask for. Now, in this last game, he showed you, yes, there were several different throws, and 2 of them, one was technically an interception. The other one just missed possibility of an interception. So this is who he is, really. All that shit y'all saw in those last 3 games, I don't understand why everybody was jumping on the gravy train, on the hype train, like this dude was out there showing up and showing out. He didn't do anything crazy. Under 240 yards over the last 4 games, that's nothing spectacular.
No, but that's what a winning offense does when you have a defense like we have.
Yeah, but for me, the thing is, there's too much credit being heaped on him. Like he's getting so much love. These commentators are getting way out of pocket with the comments. Like my biggest thing is I can't see what they're seeing that's making them say these crazy ass comments when he's not showing you anything that would make you believe anything that they would be saying. Like it doesn't fall in line. I like the fact that we're winning, but let's pump the brakes on Jimmy being the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Dude, they're hyping him like he's like a guy that carries us when he doesn't, dude. The team has actually helped him, and there's been his successful throws. But I mean, okay, it's one thing to give a lot of credit, but man, everybody's starting to switch the tunes, and I like a little bit of a fair, healthy debate with everybody. But man, I've noticed what you've been saying about these content creators, but it's like before they were criticizing him, right? Now they're just kind of like saying, "Oh, we're just kidding, Jimmy. We're kidding. We love you." That's what they're saying. And then when he does bad, they say, "Screw you."
Yeah, and I keep the same attitude.
He's not the best quarterback, but
he's decent.
Yeah, he's good enough.
See, and you see what he said right there?
You know?
That's exactly that's all you need to get.
Solid game manager.
He's like, look, man, and that's why I tell people I stay in the middle with Jimmy. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. That way he can't hurt you. Because if you get too high on him, he's gonna give you a game like he did last week, and you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? Like if you started Jimmy in fantasy last week, yeah, you probably screwed yourself as far as just the quarterback battle because he didn't do much of anything. So,
well, he's not that kind of a player.
Yeah.
He's not a fantasy player.
And then to say,
Jimmy's getting better at throwing the ball away.
Yes, that much I can give him.
I mean, he started doing that, and I was just thrilled to death about that. No more of trying to hit that window the size of a football.
Or throwing a triple coverage or double coverage or the things that Jimmy
That's
does.
a hit in that little window. He thinks he can do it.
He has a quick release, but his quick release is for those short passes over the middle. His quick release ain't for some of the throws he used to make. So I agree with that. A lot of people in the chat are asking about this situation with Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. Now, I haven't heard what they said, but, I mean, a lot of people were taking offense to the fact that he was – I guess he so-called threw shade at Jimmy, and then Mostert came out and said, y'all didn't hear the full interview, which is very typical. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, media throws it too
Media
far.
does that. They will take a small piece of something, put it out there, and not put the whole piece out there. So he probably didn't say anything. But here's the thing. Even if he did throw shade at Jimmy, it's most likely warranted. Stop coddling the guy. Just because he's our quarterback doesn't mean we need to defend him against the truth. If he says something that was true, then don't be mad at him about it. And I'm pretty sure even if he did throw a little shade at Jimmy, like we're not rolling with a quarterback where if the defense is having a bad game, he can dig us out of it. Like if the defense just has one of those days where they're just not on. Something's wrong. The passes are getting completed. The runs are we're getting killed. We don't have that guy under center that's going to dig us out of that hole. That would be Patrick Mahomes. We don't have that type of dude. We just have Jimmy.
You know, there's 31 teams that don't have Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
There are.
That's true.
But
There's 31 teams that don't have Josh Allen or
you don't have
I was going to say there's other guys that can dig you out of. I mean, he's just the first person that comes to mind because he's pretty much a comeback kid when it comes to just even the playoffs, let alone regular season. But there's other guys that come to mind when you think of that. And it's okay. But for me, we get hated. The 49ers get hated on as a franchise on a consistent basis. Now everybody is jumping on, talking about we're Super Bowl contenders. We're the scariest team in the NFC. We can beat the Eagles, all this stuff. But the one thing I can say is there's only one weakness to our defense, and that's third and short. We are trash. We are bottom of the league on third and short. Yep. So if it's like 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4, we get killed, and I don't understand how that works. You could have 3rd and 15, you can stop that, but you can't stop it a couple of yards. But part of that is attributed to the fact that we play zone. And my thing is, if you got somebody that literally has to get 5 yards, but you're playing 8 yards off of them, you know how easy it is to convert that down?
Easy conversion.
Not that hard. You've given me more than enough space. All I got to do is literally walk a couple steps, turn around, and just catch the ball. And I got the first down when the drive continues.
Lenore's been having that problem, man. I feel like that's the only problem with him is, man, dude, like there's times he kind of gives up those plays. But speaking of what we just did today, we just signed Janoris Jenkins to the practice squad from what I reported, and I believe Crazy Juice put it out there. So yeah, let's put you guys' thoughts about the pickup. You think he's going to be on the roster eventually, or you think this is just like, we'll see what happens?
I think at this point, it's a we'll see what happens. I was actually looking at free agents just the other day that me and Damian Lee talked, and we were both talking about this. And Malcolm Butler is also a free agent. So I was kind of on the let's sign Malcolm Butler and Sheldon Richardson train here, because I mean we need interior help. We do have Armstead someday will come back. Who knows when?
He's supposed to be this week.
When it comes to Kinlaw, I am not counting on the guy. I mean, immense talent. It's sad about his knees. It is just plain sad, you know. But you just can't count on the guy. So I think it's time to bring in Sheldon Richardson. I mean, he's 31. He's an interior defensive lineman, and I think he would definitely be better than who's
we
that?
have Givens. I think we have Givens right now.
Ridgeway.
Givens
We have
Ridgeway.
Givens, Ridgeway, and was it Hakeem Spence? Is that the
No,
guy
that's T.Y. McGill.
T.Y. McGill.
Yeah,
he
Spence
could've been
got
decent.
cut because we brought back Willis. So he got cut when Willis became available, and then now they brought T.Y. McGill up from the practice squad. I mean, Janoris Jenkins several years ago, yeah, I would have loved to sign him. But, I mean, you know, now I don't know. It's a wait and see. I have to agree with Dave. It's not blowing your socks off. It's kind of like, okay, maybe he's there just in case
as long as he's not Josh Norman 2.0, I'm good there.
I mean, a veteran like a Sherman type would be nice because he's got experience. But when we look at that way, man, I think that kind of helps the DB step up better because you know how this is kind of going to be an issue down the stretch because our secondary is going to have to make some plays against some good receivers. Lenore's kind of had his moments, but Lenore just needs to work a little bit better on those coverages a little bit because that's where me and OG agree on is those little coverage that he needs to be tight on his man a little bit. And it kind of frustrates me when he backs up a little bit. I don't understand the backup coverage, man. You're just giving them easy first downs off of those.
And I mean, when it comes to like CMC, you know, our offense, he's a running back, yeah. But let's see Kyle get creative and cause a mismatch. Let's see us line up in the I formation and motion CMC over to the slot, forcing the defense to either put a linebacker on him or bring up a safety, which forces 2 one-on-ones with our 3 wideouts right there. 2 one-on-ones. I like our chances. There. I mean, this is what I want to see. Kyle. I want to see him creating mismatches like this.
Well, I want to see a full backfield with Debo and CMC with Juice in the middle, and then you split them all out as wide receivers.
Oh, that's scary. That's scary. Yeah, you wouldn't know what to do because all of them can catch. You know, outside of, you know, I mean, and like that was the thing. Like like that pass that he missed to CMC when CMC was wide open. If CMC catches that, he's gone. I think like the number one thing that you can take away is we got the W. We're on a 4-game win streak. You know, we're going to be a little more rested this week. We should have some more regular practices. Hopefully everybody's fine. Hopefully nothing's wrong with Jimmy's knee because we saw the way that he went down after he got tackled on that play. But, I mean, to be honest with you, he's going to fight through whatever injury comes his way because he knows this is his year to get his money. He got to audition for, 31 other teams because if he plays out of his mind, even if we get to the playoffs and we wind up getting kicked out again in the NFC Championship, God forbid, but say we get to the NFC Championship again, that's another NFC Championship on his resume. Whether he got us there or not, he's on the roster. He is the quarterback. They're going to give him the credit for it. So he's going to have that, and that's your leverage for you to go out there and say, hey, you need to give me this amount. Give me that amount. I've been on record saying that he'll get anywhere from 25 to 35 million. And I tell you that because that's the going rate for your average for your quarterbacks. Somebody's going to overpay. And they're going to regret it in the end. But at the end of the day, it's kind of what you do. Mike Glennon got paid.
Yeah, a lot.
Matt Flynn got paid and then got his job stolen from him.
Yeah, but he got the money stolen.
You know, I mean, he snatched that money. Brock Osweiler got paid.
Yeah, he did.
So, like, when you see that this is not outside of the realm of possibility for the NFL, what's going on, Brian? It's basically how it works, man. So.
No, but Sam Bradford is the king of stealing money because actually, if he was healthy, he would have been great, bro.
Oh, that dude, and he got in right before the new CBA. So he got, do you know that Sam Bradford's never had a contract under $10 million ever?
That dude.
His first contract that he got was, I think, like a 5-year deal from the Rams. It was like $63 million or something like that. After that, he was able to. I don't know how his agent was able to pull this shit off.
Money,
He
bro.
always had him in double-digit
G
contracts, and it confused the shit out of me because the man couldn't stay healthy but for half a season. You knew you were only getting 8 games out of Sam Bradford. He's never played more than that. Like the Rams made the playoffs with Sam Bradford at 7-9, and people kept paying this dude. Are we serious?
I mean, he was good in Oklahoma, but he just never stayed healthy. That was his only problem.
Yeah,
but,
he couldn't stay on the field.
He was a great quarterback in college.
If I know I'm getting 8 games out of you, I'm gonna give you 8 games worth of money.
That's
ain't
fair
getting
enough.
$10 million out of me.
But you gotta admit,
they gotta pay him per game.
That he is the king of stealing money, bro. Come on, you gotta admit that.
What'd you say, Fogies?
Just pay him per game. You're going to get X amount of money per game.
Yeah, and put a clause in his contract, man, for a guy that has an injury history like that. It's almost like signing Jason Verrett. You have a high, I want to say 95% chance this guy's unfortunately going to get injured, and you don't want that for anyone. But some people just are injury prone, and it happens. So I don't know. I mean, the defense looked great. Fred looked great. Love the fact that we did what we were supposed to. We shut down Alvin Kamara. That man almost all but didn't exist. Made him fumble twice. So,
Olave kind of had his moment too.
No, Olave did all right. Let me see where Olave was, because I know he. Let me see what his stats.
He was in the 90s yards wise.
He was in the 90s, right?
But I think he almost scored a touchdown. I think he was like one of the other guys that fumbled also. Or no, he had one catch negated.
No, he had a catch, but the catch came back because he had dropped. There was one big pass that he caught, but he had dropped it because he didn't make an actual football move. Olave was only five catches for 62 yards.
That's good. We limit him.
62
playability. He's like a guy that puts the top on the defense. But here's a question.
Alvin Kamara, 7 of 13. 7 carries for 13 yards, 1.9 yards per catch. He was better off catching the ball. He had 6 for 37. But, that's a shitty game for Alvin Kamara. It's trash.
Anybody who had him on their fantasy team, bro, it was not a great day. I mean, here's a good one by Jaguar, man. Where would we be with Purdy and Sudfeld? We'll probably be in the same situation as Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, bro. It can't be. I don't know. I think with having Jimmy was a game savior. As much as we hate to say it, but I'm not the guy that's going to get credit. But I'll say having Jimmy as our backup was very viable this year.
Definitely.
Hey, Jimmy's a good backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I called Baby Bosa there. I called him Jimmy G 3.3. I think that's the kind of quarterback he's going to be. He'll be a good, solid quarterback. He's got a little stronger arm, and he's a little quicker, and he's got plenty of experience. He started all 4 years at Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a spread offense they play out there. But here's a good question by Jaguar. I think as far as the talent wise, I think the Dolphins have a really fast offense if we're comparing the difference between Kansas City, but they don't have a Patrick Mahomes. They don't. So Patrick Mahomes makes Casey look great, but Tua just needs the great talent around him to succeed. So, I mean, if we're talking speed and talent wise, Dolphins do have a track team, but I would say Casey's still a better offensive team.
Yeah, I give them the better offensive overall because Mahomes can do it with anybody. He's doing it with Juju Smith-Schuster. He's doing it with Pacheco. He's still doing it with Kelsey, even though he's doing it with Mecole Hardman. He'll throw. Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback that you could have because he has the big enough arm to get it downfield. He knows how to make the intermediate throws. He's great at off-schedule stuff. I mean, hell, the guy's running left, throwing right. You know what I mean? He's an all-world quarterback, and he has the skills to be able to do it. There are times, and this the beauty of Tyreek Hill leaving is Patrick Mahomes has had to become more of an accurate passer since Tyreek Hill left. Because if you look at a lot of the passes that Tyreek Hill caught, Mahomes was just putting it in the vicinity of him. And he knew that he would find the ball and get to it. Like there were some plays where he would hit him in stride and he'd throw it and be fine. And there are some plays where he chucked that ball up and you're like, who the hell are you throwing to? And then magically out of nowhere, here comes Reed. And you're like, oh, okay. That's what happened.
Yeah. What's up, fellas? What I miss?
Oh, you just missed some recap topics. But, hey, you know what? Speaking of the recap, I know you had something on your mind. So we'll let you say what you got to say. You can go by a player that kind of disappointed you and pissed you off. You were telling me about it the other day.
The one I was really pissed off about, I'm not going to be too hard on him because D'Amico Ryan tore him a new ass. But Lenore, I was very disappointed in his performance, especially that one in the end zone. And Dion, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. He was a perfect position. All you had to do is break on the ball, and you had help from Warner on the inside. Why he grabbed, I have no idea. He didn't need to do that. That's why I'm not going to be too hard on him, like I said, because I don't know if you guys caught it, but D'Amico Ryan was on his ass about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's sad when you see guys do things that they definitely don't need to do, especially from a defensive back standpoint. The guy who stood out in the defensive backfield was Gibson. Gibson looked pretty good yesterday. He was making some plays. He was around the ball doing exactly what it is. Thank you. Appreciate that, Sergeant. We still got to come up to.
Not so fast.
We got one more. We got one more time to kick your ass, and then we'll leave you alone.
We'll see.
But overall, I was so proud of the defense. I mean, Dion, we play defense, including myself. I guess I was so passionate, yelling so much because the defense they held the line. I mean, my God, I mean, I can't say so much praise about them. I am so proud of them.
Yeah.
Dude, like playing defense is frustrating because what's so hard about like when you're playing against a good offense and they throw those fast balls, bro. My D-line coach always taught me something. Like if you can't get to the quarterback, just put your hands up at least.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, that's all you gotta
do.
Yep. But
it's like an old school rap party. That's what they used to do to get you hyped back in the day. Throw your hands in the air. You just don't get. That's all you got to do. You know what? That standpoint is literally it.
And another reason why I was so fired up how the defense performed because they were not just hitting; they were hitting with bad intentions. Look at that Taylor Hufanga hit. I mean, man, I wanted to put the pads on and go get some. That's how fired up I was.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, when he gets that, he gets those hit, man. He throw them tees up real quick. He ain't playing no games. I love that kid, man. And that fumble that he had with Kamara right there on the goal line, like this is just these are the things that happen. But the issue is we can't have that and then just go 3 and out. Like we got to turn these turnovers into points because when you come up against the stronger teams that are able to capitalize and are able to get into the end zone, you need to be able to say, okay, we stole this one from you. Now we're going to push this out further where we got that lead that's a little bit bigger. You've got to be better about that. You can't continually make it seem like, okay, we're up. We're all right. We're all right. No, at the end of the day, somebody every now and then when you stop converting on those turnovers, need to get in Jimmy's face just like Mike Purcell did Russell Wilson.
And another thing, the offense too. I'm disappointed in the offense. I mean, I thought they'll be better than that. Could the short week have played a role in it? Maybe, but this is where the mindset, the mental mindset comes in. Like you guys gotta be strong mentally. If we played against Miami, we're getting our ass kicked again, like what happened in 2020.
I don't know what's going to happen. It's either our defense is going to have to step up or it's going to either be like our offense is going to have to catch up, and that's going to be concerning. But since I did put a criticism on the offense, I've actually pointed on that number 1 target guy, and he gave me a reason to go after him now. So, man, what is it with Brendo? Like, he has his moments. Now he's looking like the guy that I criticized in the first place.
Go ahead.
And what's up with Raheem Mostert talking shit? I mean, I thought loyalty was loyalty. I mean, yeah, you went to another team, but you always be a Niner. The one message I gotta say to Raheem Mostert is one, you just started a war. Two, the 49ers gave you a chance when you're on special teams. And what, because of one championship game where you have 4 touchdowns, automatically you think you're a Pro Bowler now? Dude, you're fragile. You get hurt too much. And come Sunday, I hope someone lays you the fuck out.
Oh, dude. And speaking of, I don't ever wish this to happen, but, if Tua keeps holding on to that ball, bro, he's going to be going like this again. He's going to go like that again.
I'm going to tell you right now, man, he better not hang out in that pocket too long. It's not a game. We create way too much pressure for that. But I'll say that I don't know what Mostert said. I have not been able to catch a video or read anything. And a lot of people are pretty much upset. But, I mean, to be honest with you, because, I mean, I think I was watching Nitty Gritty a little bit earlier, and they said that, I guess he was saying that the team was trying to rush him back before he was ready. But then it's like, bro, when you went down with that injury, you elected to have surgery that was season ending. You made that decision. So how is anybody going to rush you back from something where you shut yourself down for the whole season?
We had options to wait longer, and we had the option to use it as a designated return list. And what did he do? He just said, I'm more worried about my future. Like, dude, you signed up to play this game. So what if Mostert was in the playoffs? We would have had a cakewalk in the playoffs and got to the Super Bowl
and stomped the shit out of the Lambs.
Oh yeah, the Lambs. They and them. Look, man, I love it. I'm loving the downfall.
Be thankful that Mostert didn't play. That's all I can say, bro. Because it was a cakewalk when we had Mostert.
The downfall this year of the Rams is making me so. It tickles me pink. It makes me so happy because all they did was talk all that crap all off season, and they're just basically lying in the dirt right now. They are almost all but eliminated from the playoffs. And they have no hope. Like, their season is washed. Matthew Stafford is literally a shell of himself, and he's not being able to stay on the field. He's injured, and I'm pretty sure he's probably going to wind up retiring pretty soon. Then you're going to have to find another quarterback. Oh, my bad. You don't have another first-round pick until like 2045.
That's a great question.
Hey,
definitely wasn't ready.
They sold to the devil and got what they want, bro. Now it's karma. That's what happened.
Yeah, man, because it's a short-lived deal. Like, that's the whole point of it. It's a short-lived deal. It's not gonna last forever. The only person that sold their soul to the devil and said that and wound up making out like a bandit was Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. They got 6 rings together, and Brady's got 7. But unfortunately, what happened? There's your payback. He lost his wife, and that's not a good thing, man. It sucks for him, sucks for his family, but there's always consequences, and it may not come, when you make that initial agreement, but it'll come sometime later. And that's what happened.
If you knock on the devil's going to make you pay for it. And I think the Rams are going to have karma. I think Rams are going to suffer for decades now because how much cap space are they going to afford, bro? They're going to have to get rid of some of their best players at this point.
Hey, at this point, I mean, you got to think about it. If Matthew Stafford realizes his body can't take it anymore, he's made more than enough money. He's gotten several contracts from the Lions, and he got a nice little deal from the Rams. He'll be fine. He's not worried about money, so he'll retire.
And Donald can retire as much as he can retire at this point too. I don't think he's got.
And Aaron Donald, that's all he really wanted was a ring. With the way that he's played over the short span of time that he's played, he's instantly a Hall of Famer, and he doesn't have to complain. He's played at a Pro Bowl level year in and year out, and he's got his ring, so what else is there that he would need?
Hey, David Hoagie, I got a question for both of you. What do you think about this? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I want to be clear. I don't hate Jimmy Garoppolo, but to compare him to Steve Young, yeah, don't go there, please. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
The record-wise, like the record, it's identical, but it's not similar because they have a different style of play. Steve Young was actually a guy that did carry the team at times. Jimmy is not the guy. Steve Young had a lefty arm, but he was very mobile, very effective, and he elevated himself and took this team to the next level. Jimmy cannot do that. You got to have an entire team around him to succeed.
Hey, David, Hoagie, what do you guys think about that?
Dude, you give Steve Young this team, he's going 50-9, not 40-19. I saw that. And I was looking at the comparison like, you guys are not putting him on in the same picture as those two. No.
Man.
Nah.
They do it all the time. They find ways to compare any type of record that Jimmy Garoppolo has to Steve Young, to Joe Montana, all of that. And even if there's records that he's had that's better than them in certain stretches and things that – what people have to understand is you got different eras of football.
Tough
played in different times. He is so protected as a quarterback right now. If you gave the protection that they have as a quarterback now to Steve Young and Joe Montana, it plays with that like 15 Lombardis in the fucking case. He can't do shit to the quarterback now. Back then, when the quarterback released the ball, if he got his world rocked afterwards, he just got his world rocked. There was no flag. There was no 15-yard roughing the passer. There's no hit on the defenseless receiver. All of this shit that they have now for the offense to succeed, it wasn't around when those dudes were playing. So it's a different era of football. So
very soft.
Yeah, you can't expect someone to match up to a different time frame where the game was played in a different way. Like, you have to look at it for what it is. But Fogies, what do you got on that one?
Fogey? Guess he's frozen.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, stats are just stats. Never been a Steve Young fan. I got pissed off when they let Montana go and let him take over the reins. But that's just me.
I didn't tell you, CG, that there were, and Fogey could vouch for this. When that Montana and Young controversy was going on, there was do you think this fan base is divided? You should have seen back then, it was worse.
Oh, you said they fight in person instead of the internet. Right?
Yeah, they would be fighting in person. Remember that, Fogey?
I guess social media is like a different way of avoiding all this fight stuff because all you got is keyboard warriors now. Like, all you see on Twitter, dude, all you see on Twitter is a lot of these Jimmy stands kind of saying, and then you got some of them saying, well, if Jimmy takes the Niners to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, Trey Lance is done. And I'm like, dude, you don't get rid of a guy that you give up draft picks for. That's like, okay, I can't even take that shit serious.
Here's the easiest way to shut that down. Everyone forgot this man is an unrestricted free agent with no franchise tag clause on his contract.
He's gone.
Did we forget? Did all these people that want him to stay forget that? Do you understand that if that man plays that well and we get into the playoffs, his number is going to be well out of what the 49ers can offer? Yep. And at the same time, if we pay him again, we are handicapping ourselves. He's not coming in here for another $25 million a year contract. No. He knows somebody's going to be dumb enough to give him more money. Why wouldn't he go accept that?
We focus on Bosa first because Bosa's a priority because he's the main core player we need to focus on retaining. And it doesn't make sense to even have Jimmy Garoppolo back because even if he goes to the Super Bowl or wins it, bro, he can just pull on Nick Foles and cash out, bro. Like, we invested Trey Lance. This is a short year window to take the cheap contract to build around a young quarterback, right? Even though it's unfair to criticize what Trey has done yet because he hasn't had a fair opportunity to play. Like, he's only played 4 games and got injured, and everybody's already too quick to criticize it and give up on this kid. Like, it's one thing to do that, but, man, dude, it's just very harsh. Like, I've never seen a fan base of our caliber be that harsh to any other quarterback but Trey Lance. Like, can you name a quarterback who's only had 4 career starts and has been labeled a bust just right off the bat? I can't think of one.
I can't call Trey Lance a bust. That's way too early for that.
Here's the crazy thing. I can tell you this. The weird thing about it is we've had quarterbacks that needed to be called trash and weren't. Anybody remember the name Jim Druckenmiller?
He was too drunk to play.
Tim Rattay, he was trash. Like there's guys that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Blaine Gabbert, trash. Like there were dudes that we called trash, and it just didn't make sense. Like I was very confused on how they wouldn't give those guys those names, but you can sit up here and call Trey Lance something, and he's not even, he hasn't even had a chance to even play fully in the league. But once again, people, he is a free agent, unrestricted. He will go wherever he wants. He's going to go to probably either Houston, Carolina, or Indianapolis. Whoever decides to give him the biggest bag is where he will go.
JT O'Sullivan.
I think Colts are going to get him because Matt Ryan's probably going to retire. I hate to say it. I think he's done.
Hey,
yeah,
CJ,
it's only smart. What did you say, JT O'Sullivan? What about him?
Yeah, no, I forgot about him.
David Carr, which we got him as our backup, right? We got him as our backup a while back, and the sad part was Troy Smith was the one that beat him out for the backup job. That's ridiculous. Remember that time when Alex Smith struggled and the fans wanted the chant, "We want Carr, we want Carr, we want Carr."
Yeah.
On Sunday night against the Eagles.
Hey, CG, can you bring up that one question about Mason being RB1 or something like that?
Yeah,
that's by Jaguile.
That won't happen. We all know that won't happen. As much as we would like it, it won't happen. And the reason being is because most likely CMC is going to play. I honestly, CMC he's had injuries over the past couple of years, but I honestly think what's going to happen is Kyle's going to wind up screwing that kid again. Jordan Mason came in and wound up averaging 5 yards a damn carry and was running that rock right up the middle like nobody's business. He hits the hole quick, and he is not afraid of contact. I'm sorry. You should give that kid way more touches than what he gets, and I don't think that you should go with TDP just because you drafted him in the 3rd round. Man doesn't play special teams well. That's why he wasn't dressed, and Jordan Mason does. So at the end of the day, he's playing special teams. He came in, and he pulled a Raheem where he looked great. Only difference is he didn't have that opportunity to be able to get outside and show his speed. Raheem hit that one cut and just bolts, and then that's the type of speed that he has. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there are times where you're like, I don't know what Kyle is thinking, but this is a kid he should definitely give the opportunity to.
David, what do you think?
I think we need a bruiser, and I think we have a bruiser, and he's been with us the whole time, Mason. So, I mean, the kid, he can run the ball. I don't know what's wrong with TDP, and I really wish we would quit picking a running back that early in the draft when we have, bigger needs. But it's time to start running. It's time to start running Jordan Mason. It is. It's time to start having him start to wear down the defense. Then, bring in McCaffrey as a change-up back. We're probably going to end up starting McCaffrey just because of his pass-catching ability. But bring him in as a change-up back / gadget guy and, start sending him to the edge to our zone scheme. I mean, it's time to start, utilizing our backs for what they're good at. CMC, I honestly think the guy's abilities, we don't need to be running him up the middle and, watching him get killed. Mason is built to run up the middle. He's built to run through people, truck people. He is basically like a freight train going down the tracks, and it's time to let him roll.
Yep.
Hey, Fogey, what about you?
Well, I agree with that. I've been a Mason fan since we first picked him up.
The hype, yeah.
I've been wanting him to get more.
Hey,
I've been wanting him to get more touches all along, and I holler all the time, but Kyle doesn't listen to me very much.
You don't listen to nobody.
Kyle's stubborn, bro. Like, he's like a stubborn, like that one spoiled child that doesn't really care what anybody says, and he doesn't take advice, and he's like that one guy that refuses to listen. That's what Kyle Shanahan is. But hey, shout out to my boy Big Simple 422. Wee lit. See you soon, man. I know in a few weeks we're gonna play your Commanders. I'm gonna get this guy on my show. Very funny guy, man. Go check him out. This guy is the funniest Commanders fan. I don't think you'll find any other funny content creator like him.
What fans? The WTF?
He's a Washington Commanders.
Oh, I still call him WTF. Washington football.
But he's one of the funniest dudes. Yeah, he's one of the funniest dudes. Like, if you guys ever check out, like, when his team loses, you'll get a lot of him yelling like crazy. Like he'll criticize his team and he'll say, "Hey, hit the damn showers. You guys look like crap," or something like that. But when he gets all pumped up about a victory, he gets all excited and say, "Good job!" But he's a good dude. He's got a full of energy. Really good dude. Like, if you guys checked out his channel, dude is a must watch. Like, he's funny as hell.
You know what I'm really happy about, and it's gonna surprise you guys. I think I'm being vindicated after that ass chewing I gave the Niner DBs after the Chiefs game. They have
okay, man. You can go, Dion. You're good. My bad.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll get up out of here. I got another one to do right after this. Thanks for having me again, CG.
No problem. Anytime, bro.
Hey, everybody, man. Peace and blessings.
Good, bro. Have a good one, Dion.
Hey, CG, you think this ass chewing I gave the Niners DBs got their attention?
Our DB's just kind of been suspect at times, Moses. Like, if you notice the way we play at times, bro, there's been times we give up some plays, and Lenore just needs to step it up, or this is part of why we brought Jenkins for, just to come off the practice squad. Give him a week. Give Jenkins a week or two, and he should be able to acclimate the playbook easily.
I haven't really had time to watch him, but I watched some of his highlights. Based off what I see, I love the fact that he's man-to-man. That's the type of DB I'm looking for. Man-to-man in your face, ferocious.
Well, that's Womack.
Speaking of Womack, man, I wish he'd get more playing time.
He looked good when he got his opportunity.
He's a ball hawk. I mean, he'll take the ball out of the guy's hands. He'll take it out of their face.
Dude, Womack has that football player thing that, you know, they should have. He has instincts and he has the ability to be in the right place at the right time.
And he has long arms too.
Similar to this one safety we have starting right now by the name of Hufanga. So at this point, we just need to put Womack in the slot. When it comes to Jimmy Ward, you know, you can play him here and there, but have him spell Gibson. You know, have him come in, maybe come in at linebacker and cover a tight end every now and then.
Or blitz to the quarterback.
You know, but
I
mean, Womack's fast too.
Womack in there. We got to get Womack in there.
Hey, CG, I got this one.
All right.
What is your guys' thoughts on Avery not playing it? What do you say? Is he a bust? I think he's trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw my hat in the ring and say Avery's a bust. Awful technique. Everybody could talk about his speed and everything, but the technique ain't matching up. That's a wrap. Can't locate the ball. Sloppy with his technique. Sloppy with his footwork. Gets manhandled off the line easily. I think the Niners are going to get rid of him after this year.
I mean, he's kind of like worse than Dante Johnson, if I'm being honest, bro. Like his footwork, like the way you say it, and he does the worst in Lenore, bro. Lenore, he may go back a little bit, but at least Lenore gets aggressive. But every time you can get those easy chunk of plays off of him because he gets too fucking cute with his coverage shit. Like, I don't know what it is about him.
You know what, CG? That one play against the Chiefs really, really still irks me about him. I think it was against was it Seattle or was it the Chiefs?
I think it was the Chiefs because that's when we had injuries. Like, I think
where he let the receiver, go ahead and catch the ball, I'll tackle you after that. Compete for the ball. Man.
I know, man. But hey, we're looking forward to this next up and coming game. I know this is kind of like almost past the 1 hour mark. I know you guys got something to say before we end the show because I know you guys got other stuff to do. And 11 people in the building. That is what's up with everybody. It's great that everybody's enjoying the show. But let's get you guys some final sayings. Let's let David say what he's got to say, and then we'll get to Fogey, Moses, and myself, and then we'll end it from here.
All right. Well, so Jimmy G, you tried to screw it up, but it didn't work. So just keep putting in the work, keep playing okay. Just don't screw it up. That's all you got to do. Don't screw it up.
Moses?
All right. Well, my message to Lenore is this. Lenore, I'm not going to be too hard on you because I'm pretty sure you got an ass chewing from D'Amico Ryans. But, brother, trust your technique. Don't start getting sloppy because I will be on your ass all the time critiquing you hard. Trust your technique. Don't play sloppy, and you'll be okay. Don't mess it up. When you're in position, you don't need to hold. Break on the ball. You have the break speed to do it.
Okay, Fogey, you're next.
Well, I'm going to say is offense, do what you do and do it well, no mistakes. Same thing with defense, and think about the fans. Don't let them go down to the field and then the last minute take the ball away from them. Take it away from them further up the field. Stay faithful and go Niners.
Go Niners, stay faithful.
And I got one more to say. Jake Brando, I'm watching you. And I know that you don't care what I said because I'm blocked by you, but I am watching every damn block that you're doing, and I'm going to get on your case. And Mike McGlinchey, you're not off the hook. I am going to get at you. I'm going to call you out next. So it's tough love, nothing personal. But as far as all that, a win's a win. So we can agree with that, and it sounds like to me we are going to have a great week. We got the Dolphins, and let's go Niners, and great show, guys. We are on to the Dolphins.